You join me here in the Free State town of Winburg. Behind me, the compound of Marnus Stale, the game farmer featured in that video that we just broadcast. You can even see lion in the background. Now, we will attempt to confront Marnus Stale with that video footage in a short while. Stale, it seems, was a central figure in what came to be known as the Syndicate, syndicate, which had its headquarters in the Southeast Asian country of Laos. Rhino horn has an almost mythical reputation in Southeast Asia. On the black market, it is more expensive than gold or cocaine. The gruesome video footage you are about to see shows the process of cutting off rhino horn following a hunt on Marnus Stale's farm. He received around 65,000 rand for a kilo of horn, but it was all done in plain sight of the law. Permit hunters are allowed to take rhino horn out of the country as a personal souvenir. Chumlong Lemtongthai admitted in court that the hunts were really nothing more than a front to export rhino horn for trade and not for trophies. But he exonerated Marnus Stale, saying he was unaware of any illegal activity. However, the video we broadcast and a series of invoices and orders we are about to show you contradict this. A Gmail account used by Lemtongthai provides a detailed electronic record of some of the transactions. For instance, in just 6 days between May 20 and May 26, 2011, Lemtongthai sent Stale 18 passports for shooting. Documents also show that in February 2011, Stale invoiced Nimit Wongprajan for over 324,000 rand. Later, the money was transferred from a Bangkok bank account held in Lemtongthai's name to an account at a Johannesburg branch of the Bank of Athens. The beneficiary, Stale Game CC. We are also in possession of an order for 50 sets of rhino horn addressed to Stale. The syndicate said they could shoot 15 a month. And in this footage, you see CITES export documents for the shipment of rhino trophies to many of the sham hunters Lemtongthai organized. While the name on each one differs, look carefully. The address on many is the same. They were all sent to this headquarter in Laos, a small country bordering Thailand and Vietnam. Journalist Julian Rademeyer, author of the chilling and meticulously investigated book Killing for Profit, travelled to Laos to track down the syndicate and its boss.
And they've been in operation probably for about the last decade, if not longer. And the extent of the activities, extends beyond rhinos. It extends into all kinds of wildlife. You've got I've seen receipts for up to 100,000 animals, including reptiles, endangered turtles being shipped across to Vietnam. And essentially what they did was they came to South Africa looking for lion bones. The initial sort of demand that they were trying to feed was lion bones as a replacement for tiger bones, which feature on the sort of black markets, the medicinal black markets of Southeast Asia. But they quickly found out that they could exploit loopholes in South Africa's hunting legislation to obtain a steady supply of rhino horn, which they could get out via Thailand to Laos and then onto the black market.
The syndicate itself, it begins here in South Africa and ends up in Southeast Asia. Who's the kingpin behind it?
The person's name is Vishay Kersavang. He seems to have had a military background from what I've been able to gather. He is extremely well connected politically, and as I discovered when I went there, very well protected. He's travelled to Vietnam with the Laotian Prime Minister on an official state visit, and his activities seem to continue completely unhampered and untrammeled. What's particularly disturbing is that he was also being filmed twice this year, the most recently probably about 3 months ago, by undercover investigators, where he discusses acquiring rhino horn, the prices he's prepared to pay, and how he can go about getting more rhino horn.
You yourself travelled from South Africa to Laos to Vietnam. What did your journeys reveal?
I got the impression from a lot of people that they don't see the brutality of it. To them it's an end product. The last rhino in Vietnam was killed off 2 years ago. It's almost this sort of foreign, creature, animal, in another part of the world, and there's this naive belief that we have hundreds of thousands of rhinos from a number of the people. Virtually every sort of shopkeeper I spoke to who made the rhino horn grinding dishes, which are used to grind the horn up, said, you've got lots of rhinos back in South Africa, give me a call, we can do business. You've got thousands of them. And it was that sort of impression.
Why is rhino horn so valuable?
Indications are that a rumor started a few years ago about a senior Vietnamese official who'd been cured of cancer. That rumor seems to have had some impact on the initial trade. But today you've got rhino horn that's being sold for a variety of reasons in Vietnam. It's being used as a hangover cure. Strangely enough, it is now being used as an aphrodisiac. There's aphrodisiac wines that are being sold there.
And what kind of price does it fetch? Because, I mean, in Southeast Asia, it's more valuable than gold or cocaine. It's more expensive.
No, the prices vary dramatically. I've heard figures bandied around of $50,000 a kilo, $60,000 a kilo, even up to $80,000 a kilo. It would seem that at the moment it's roughly about 50,000 that it's being sold for there on the black market.
And that brings us full circle. We attempted to contact Harry Claessens, the professional shooter featured in that video. He would not answer our calls or respond to our SMSs. We then contacted Marnus Steyle's lawyers. They insist that their client is innocent and that charges were dropped because there is insufficient evidence. And so we then contacted Marnus Steyle himself. As soon as he heard we were from Third Degree, he put down the phone. So here we are now, outside his game farm. We're going to attempt to speak to him one more time. Well, this is as far as we've got. This is the farm of Marnus Steyle. Nobody appears to be here, and we actually can't get in. Also, there are lions walking around the area. We visited his offices. He is apparently no longer there. Is he here? Then we attempted to put questions to the NPA. All this evidence calls into question their bizarre decision to drop the case against Steyle and others last week. They declined an interview due to, in their words, work overload. We then went higher up and were told that the Director of Prosecutions has observed media concerns and requested an urgent briefing on the case. Well, that brings tonight's programme to an end. We'd still like to hear from you, though. You can fax us on 011-880-8883 or email us on thirddegree@etv.co.za. And you can also follow us on Facebook or Twitter. And do join us again next week for more investigative journalism. Goodbye.